Today we're going to discuss, similar to our last lesson, fractional exponents and radicals, but we're going to be working on equivalent expressions. So this is fractional exponents / radicals, because those are the same. We learned that in the last lesson. But primarily we're focused today on equivalent expressions. So an example of that would be something like 3x squared over the square root of x. And let's just say that we give you several expressions, right? So one of these expressions might be 3x to the 3/2, and one of these might be 3x cubed, and one of these might be 3 over the square root of x. Let's say that our next one is something like 3x squared square root of x over x. And our last one is 3x root x. And I want to go through and I want to see which of these expressions are equivalent to this expression. Well, if I start with this first one right here, I can say, well, I've got 3 to the x squared minus 1/2. So I'm rewriting this denominator as x to the 1/2, and then I'm subtracting it up here. So that's what's going on with this top one. When I subtract those, it's the same thing as 4/2 minus 1/2, because 2 is the same thing as 4 divided by 2. And that becomes 3x to the 3/2. So is this a possible solution? Yes, it is. Move on to the next one. X cubed. Well, I know that when I have all the x's in the numerator, it's 3x to the 3/2. So 3x cubed is not going to work because I have all my x's in the numerator and it's not 3x to the 3/2. Let's look at this next one. 3 over the root x. So I've got everything here except I no longer have this x squared. Well, what is it that canceled this out? Nothing. It just disappeared without any cancellation, so that is not an option. In my next solution here, my denominator has switched to an x, and my numerator now has the square root of x. Well, let's see how would I do that. I could do that by doing square root of x times the square root of x. Square root of x times the square root of x is equal to, let me just do this a little nicer, that's equal to x. And if I get x on the bottom, that works. Now the top, if I multiply the denominator by the square root of x, I need to multiply the top, or the numerator, by the square root of x, which gives me 3x squared root x. So I've got 3x squared root x over x, which is exactly what happens in the denominator and the numerator. So this is a solution. Lastly, I have 3x root x. Well, if I take this last equation, which we know is a solution, and I simplify the x squared over x to the 1, so one of these cancels and leaves me with 1 up here, and it cancels with that one, then I end up with 3x root x. 3x root x. So this is also a solution. This is similar to some of the Khan Academy exercises you've done where you've really got to take time to pause and think about what's happening. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 examples of equivalent expressions. Good luck.